chosen ones, empaths, and all the authentic, genuine souls out there that might not identify as a chosen one or empath just yet. You need to know this information wherever you are at on your journey. It's important that you know this information, okay? Perhaps you may remember the time, or you're in this time right now, where there's silence. There's silence from both sides, okay? You could have been discarded, reverse discarded, or you cut the narcissist off involved in your life, but you're in that period of silence, and some of you might be questioning, why isn't the narcissist reaching out? Why hasn't the narcissist hoovered? Why hasn't the narcissist said something? Okay? And you've heard me cover that many of you have actually had the hoover early on, and it will take you to look back and reflect that oftentimes the narcissist, you're in such hurt and devastation, you don't notice that the narcissist has in fact hoovered you at the very early stages. So it will take you to reflect upon that. But going into the video, this narcissist is fiending for your attention. They're fiending for you to break the silence. Okay? And they're putting all their chips on this, right? Because they've hurt you in such a bad way. They believe that they've disrupted your heart, your mind. They have hurt you, right? But they're hoping they've hurt you a lot more than they actually have. Okay? And they believe that they've baited you in a way, they've left you in enough hurt that you're gonna contact them, that you're gonna reach out to them. And that's why I want you to understand that when these thoughts come into your mind, perhaps you should contact them. Perhaps you should send them a message on social media. Perhaps you should ignore it. Don't go into that. There's no point, okay? Because I'll tell you, even though the narcissist is out there fiending for your reaction, fiending for your attention, the moment that you do contact them, right? You do try to bridge the gap. You try to reconcile. You put out your point across or whatever, right? They're gonna move the goalpost. They might act disinterested, even though they're very interested. You're dealing with someone who's completely phony, right? So when you understand and embrace you're dealing with someone who's completely phony, their reactions to any situation is going to be bizarre. It's going to take you by surprise. It's going to be bizarre because they're not authentic and true, right? Even if they are fiending for your reaction, you know, notifications are going off on their phone, notifications are going off on their social media. In their minds, they look to check if it's you. That drives them nuts anyway. That drives them crazy, right? When they're doing that kind of behavior, they're looking, and you may understand that from your perspective. Perhaps you were even doing that early days. You thought, oh, is that a message from them? Oh, is that a text from them? Oh, is that a phone call from them? Oh, is that something on social media from them? Like, you might have been in that mind state, so you can understand how it is. But the narcissist maintains this, right? You were doing that from an authentic perspective. You were generally thinking, is this person who's a significant person in your life contacting you, and you thought about it. This narcissist is thinking they've left you hurt, they've left you broken. You're gonna search to try and find closure from them, and this is the way they're viewing you in this situation, right? So all their chips are on this bet that you're gonna reach out, and a lot of victims of narcissistic abuse do reach out. And when they reach out, the narcissist acts disinterested. The narcissist does these types of behaviors and moves the goalpost. And then you're scratching your head like, what did those? Because they leave signs and stuff to keep you hooked, to keep you interested, they leave signs, right? They don't give you the closure that you need. So you're still in the mind state of, there's a possibility with this relationship. This is a common. If a narcissist has left you with no closure, it's a blatant thing that they do. This is what narcissists do to keep you on the shelf. This is what narcissists do to keep you on the shelf. To stay informed on topics like these, subscribe to the channel. To become a supporting member, please use the link in the description box below. But they are fiending. They're looking at the clock, counting the days. They're going over in their minds about you not reaching out, about you not bridging that gap, right? And even if you are one of those people that has already reached out, I should have said this earlier. Why didn't I say this earlier? Even if you are one of these people that has tried to reach out, and the narcissist that was involved in your life has moved the goalpost or acted disinterested or whatever, right? And you feel like, oh, why did you do that now? Be proud of yourself for doing that, because you was in a mind state of where you thought there's a vision with this person. You saw a vision with this person. You were trying to do the adult thing. It's the good nature in you, in why you done this. It's you're not what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even find it. It's not ego driven. That's not the word I'm looking for. But it's like you're just moving with your heart, right? And you're trying to reconcile a relationship. That's what you was trying to do. So don't feel like it was a stupid move. What that does is it gives you the ability to have closure, because when you do that, when you lay your cards on the table and you put it across to the narcissist and they reject you, or they act disinterested, or they move the goalpost, that shows that you put your effort and they haven't matched it. And that's the very thing that destroys the narcissist as well. Okay? If afterwards you maintain your silence, you go no contact, you don't contact them anymore, and you leave it as that, right? Once the little infatuation's worn off from the attention they got from you reaching out, because they get a thrill from that. They get a thrill from that when you reach out and you do give them attention and validate them. That will wear off. It's a fuel supply. It burns out, right? So they get some fuel supply, but it burns out. Then where are they going to find that again? That type of supply. The only person who they can get that type of supply from is you, if you give them attention again, or if you. So this is what the life of the narcissist consists of, and it actually becomes more important for them to get supply from you, right? Even if you're one of those people who have reached out or you haven't reached out, it becomes more important in the narcissist's mind, despite them having new supplies and stuff like this. It becomes more important for them to get a supply from you, whatever type of supply it is, positive, negative, whatever, right? They want some form of supply from you, and it's more important, and it stimulates them more than a supply that they could be in a relationship with. Okay? And this is all hidden. This is all deep in the inner world of the narcissist. But this is what their life consists of. And they're watching your social media. I know a lot of you think they're gone quiet. They're not watching your social media. A lot of them are watching your social media, right? If not all of them are watching your social media. They have to keep tabs on former suppliers. They're not only watching your social media. They take a little period of time in a day for themselves, and they'll during their time for themselves, could be after the new supplier's gone to sleep, it could be when they go in the bathroom, it could be when they go and do this, and they'll go and do weird stuff, right? They'll go and look at previous suppliers' social medias, they'll look at your social media, they do this, and you're part of the picture because you've been involved in their life. They're weirdos, right? They're weirdos. Yes, they can become completely obsessed with you, right, as a chosen one, empath, and authentic individual, right? But they still keep tabs on those that are on the shelf, right? And they still they do weird stuff. Spying is something narcissists do. They spy. But if you're remaining silent, you've gone quiet, it will be the narcissist that bridges that gap in some way, shape, or form. If you go quiet, do your own thing, the narcissist will be the one that makes contact in some way, shape, or form. And I'll tell you, you don't even want no contact from the narcissist. You don't even want no contact because they'll come with some weird stuff. They'll do some bizarre stuff, and it will set you back a bit. Like you could have been on your healing, and then the narcissist messages you, "Hi, how are you?" Or the narcissist says you left something at my house, or the narcissist contacts you from a fake profile. They'll do something weird, right? And it sets you back a bit because you've been on the path of healing. And what this indicates is they was fiending the whole time. It's not like, oh, it's just a coincidence on a given day they thought of you and then they decided to message you. No, it's not always gone wrong in their life, so they decided to reach out to you again, right? Although all is going wrong in their life, and that could be a reason why they're reaching out to you, but that's not the whole reason, right? They've been obsessed the whole time, and they were hoping and fiending that you reach out, and they've come to terms. They've most likely come to terms with the fact that you're not going to reach out, okay? And they need to be the one that initiates contact in some way, shape, or form to spark that fuse, right? Or to prompt you to speak to them or something like this, right? And they're gauging you through these hoovers. These indirect hoovers, direct hoovers, whatever type of hoover it is, they're gauging you and running an analysis on you. Okay? So, like I said, I need to backtrack a moment because I said they're not doing it because their whole world's falling apart, but their whole worlds do fall apart after you when they're with the new suppliers and they realize these new suppliers aren't on the same level as you and stuff like that. This does happen to them, right? But that's happened a lot sooner, right? Say you've gone a number of years and then the narcissist reaches out. Their lives fallen apart a lot sooner and they've been stubborn enough to not make you aware of that. And they've tried again with other suppliers and they've done this and they've tried to make other suppliers into you and they've done all these types of things. And eventually they realize that you're not going to contact them. You're not going to reach out. And then they'll try and bridge that gap. Okay? So that's what I meant by it's not like their lives falling apart. Their lives falls apart very quickly, right? For those that were discarded or reverse discarded, or you cut the narcissist off, there's something called the fading effect bias, and the narcissist goes into the fading effect bias, right? And you can even go into the fading effects bias, where basically what happens is you start to forget the bad things that happen. After several weeks, you start to forget the bad things that happen in the relationship, and you remember the so-called good things, right? That can even affect a chosen one, empath, or authentic individual, so you need to be wary of that. And also, dumper's remorse kicks in for the narcissist that does the discard, or for those of you that do the cutting off. That's where you feel remorseful. It will be a self-absorbed remorse from the narcissist, but you will feel some sort of remorse, and they'll just feel sorry for themselves and realize they're missing out on the situation that they had with you. So it'll be a self-absorbed remorse, but they go through that maybe after a couple of months or something like that. So they start to get realizations very quickly, right? And that's what not a lot of you are aware of. Okay? So just understand that wherever you are at in your journey, this narcissist is fiending. If you're in a position of where it's gone quiet, you don't need to be the one who bridges that gap. You don't need to be the one who makes contact. You don't need to be the one. You really don't. There's no point. There's absolutely no point. Okay? There's no point. And for those of you that have already done it, it's okay. It's just a good nature in you. But hopefully by now, where you're at in your journey, you've come so far, none of you are going to do it again. There's no point. Or you're not going to even do it in the first place, right? There's just no point. Because you actually don't want to hear from them. That's what you need to wrap your head around as well. You actually don't want to hear from them. You actually don't need to see them. You actually don't need to be around them. You actually don't need these people in your life. Right? And like you will get to that place. All of you are going to get to that place. Without a doubt. Even those of you that will end up getting back with the narcissist, going on off and on again and all of this, you know what I'm saying? And then finding out it's a repeat cycle and then maybe even cutting them off or whatever, right? You're going to realize one way or the other, and you're going to get to this place eventually of where You don't want them to be around them. You don't want nothing to do with them. And obviously, those of you that have children, like I always say, to do parallel parenting, um, do the Grey Rock method. You talk through an app on the parallel parenting, so they can't contact you on the phone. You can meet in a neutral location. That's the best way to phase them out. They'll realize you're just not interested. When they start talking to you about things to do with you and them, you just pay it no mind. You don't talk about things like that, right? And then you can talk about your children or whatnot, or your child, and that's about it. And you can be engaged when you talk about their child or the children. You can be very engaged and full of light when you talk about that. You can be your authentic self when you talk about that. But when they start to talk about you and them, just cut it. You know what I'm saying? That's just as powerful. Just as powerful. And it's obviously a hard task what you've got on your hands, but that will leave them still the same way fiending for you to engage with them and validate them in the way of what I'm talking. They're fiending for is for the attention, right? It's for the usual attention that like you used to give them. Okay, so like this isn't toxic behavior or anything like that. When you're dealing with narcissists, this isn't toxic behavior or anything like that. Obviously, you wouldn't treat a regular decent person like this in this way, but these people deserve it. Like they've put you through hell, they've given you trouble, they've caused you pain, they've broken your heart, they've cheated on you, they've done these things. It's like this, you have to allow the separation to occur, and they go their way, you go your way, because where you're going on your path is for better things. They're going for destruction, and you're gonna hear from them at some point. They're gonna do something at some point to make some form of contact with you. They're weirdos. They're complete weirdos, right? They're gonna do something, you know. They're gonna do something, right? And the best thing is if they don't. That's a blessing in itself. If they don't, because I've heard of Hoovers coming after 10 years and stuff, right? Plus, I've seen plus in the comment section. I've spoken to people that have had Hoovers after significant periods of time in sessions. So really, it sets you back, even if it sets you back for a couple of days, because it's been a number of years or whatever. It sets you back a couple of days, like, well, you're just a bit, makes you feel weird and that, like, you don't want to hear from them. You don't want nothing to do with them. You know, like, that's where you'll get to. All of you are going to get to that place, so you don't need to worry about a thing. You're all going to get there. I'm just pointing out a few things that are going to be happening on your journey. You're all going to get there. You'll get there. It's not a race, and you'll get there at the right time for you, right? As long as you just, this desire will fade. If you have a desire to be with a narcissist, to fix it, to like, that's gonna fade, because you only can take so much, and that's when you door slam Baltimore it shut. It's like you could try to fix the relationship, and then they move the goalpost, like I was discussing earlier in the earlier segments. They move the goalpost. That leaves you thinking like, what? Right, after they left signs for you to for the relationship that could be repaired or whatnot, and you basically just door slam Baltimore it shut, and they'll pick up on that. They'll pick up on that. Remember, narcissists never let go. They never let go. They think they own you. They think they own you. So just focus on you and realize they're out there fiending for your attention. So don't give them no attention. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve none of your attention at all. They can crave your attention. They can go crazy. It can drive them crazy. Whatever. Like, let them keep looking at their phone, seeing if you've phoned and contacting them on social media. Let them keep doing all of them types of behaviors and stuff, right? Just let them crave for your attention and leave them lost in the fog. Let them be in the fog. They put you in the fog. Let them be in the fog. Lost. Remember, they're stubborn, so that's a lot of the reasons why they don't reach out to you so soon, right? And they try and leave you. It's a reverse Hoover, like I probably should have mentioned a lot earlier, but it's a reverse Hoover. They try to leave you hurt and broken, and hoping that it's a reverse Hoover, hoping that you reach out to them. So Hopefully none of you do that from this point forward. And thanks for watching today. And if you'd like to know, thanks for watching today. To become a supporting member or donate to this channel, please find the link in the description box below. And if you'd like to know more about It Only Hurt You Because You Thought What Was, click this video here. I'll be back on another video soon. Peace.